Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you stick around because you don't want to miss this video.
On December 8th, this article was posted by NBC News, who reported on a former Israeli space security chief who said that extraterrestrials exist and Trump knows about it. Eshed also said, "A galactic federation has been waiting for humans to reach a stage where we will understand what space and spaceships are." The Jerusalem Post also posted an article which said, "Former Israeli space security chief says aliens exist, humanity not ready." Under the headline reads, "This galactic federation has supposedly been in contact with Israel and the US for years, but are keeping themselves a secret to prevent hysteria until humanity is ready." So who are these aliens? To find out, let's dive into the Word of God. In the book of Genesis, when God created the world and everyone and everything in the world, He did not mention the creation of aliens. In fact, aliens are never mentioned in the Holy Bible. God did mention beings in the spiritual world, as stated in Ephesians 6:12. We are not fighting against humans. We are fighting against forces and authorities and against rulers of darkness and powers in the spiritual world. The rulers and authorities in the spiritual world are Satan and the other fallen angels. They are disguising themselves as aliens to deceive the world. What are UFOs? UFOs are unidentified flying objects. UFOs and all other technologically advanced weapons are created by the military and will be used in the Battle of Armageddon by the beasts and kings of the earth in an attempt to defeat Jesus and his army, as stated in Revelation 19:19. "And I saw the beast, the kings of the earth, and their armies gathered together to make war against him who sat on the horse and against his army." The evil one is responsible for the development of these technologically advanced UFOs and weapons, because what damage will he do with some bullets in a jet against the army of heaven? None. And even with these technologically advanced UFOs and weapons, he will still do none, because the Lord in heaven and his army will win, as stated in Revelation 19:20. Then the beast was captured, and with him the false prophet who worked signs in his presence, by which he deceived those who received the mark of the beast and those who worshipped his image. These two were cast alive into the lake of fire burning with brimstone. How will Satan use the alien and UFO deception to deceive the world? Christians and even non-Christians know that one day thousands of Christians are supposed to disappear from this planet. Christians recognize this teaching as the rapture of the church. As for the non-Christians, who were already deceived by Satan for not believing in God and His Son Jesus Christ, how will Satan continue to deceive them when the rapture actually happens? We would hope that the rapture would be a wake-up call for the non-Christians, and that they would finally realize the truth after all. But Satan has a trick up his sleeve for those who choose not to believe. This trick up his sleeve could be revealed as an alien abduction. This strong delusion is biblically based, as stated in 2 Thessalonians 2:9-12. The coming of the lawless one is according to the working of Satan, with power, signs, and lying wonders, and with all unrighteous deception among those who perish, because they did not receive the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this reason God will send them a strong delusion, that they should believe the lie, that they all may be condemned who did not believe the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. God further explains why an alien delusion will be inflicted upon unbelievers, as stated in Isaiah 66:3-4. "Just as they have chosen their own ways, and their soul delights in their abominations, so will I choose their delusions and bring their fears on them. Because when I called, no one answered. When I spoke, they did not hear. But they did evil before my eyes, and chose that in which I do not delight. This alien delusion could be the reason why we have seen the upscale of alien programming in the news, movies, and video games, as if humanity is being brainwashed for the alien deception. In an article written by Jim Salies, Salies states what Israeli illusionist Uri Geller believes about aliens. Geller believes that extraterrestrials would not interfere until, in a single night, at the peak of a conflict, they would remove millions of humans who resist this initiation into a higher spiritual consciousness and re-educate them before returning them to Earth a few years later. Another alien believer named Barbara Marciniak states in her book, Bringers of the Dawn, the people who leave the planet during the time of Earth changes do not fit here any longer, and they are stopping the harmony of Earth. When the time comes that perhaps 20 million people leave the planet at one time, there will be a tremendous shift in consciousness for those who are remaining. Christians can interpret Marciniak's quote like this: the people who leave the planet during the time of Earth changes do not fit here any longer. Christians don't fit into this world because we are not of this world. Rather, we were chosen out of this world by Jesus Christ, as stated in John 15:19. If you were of the world would love you as its own. But because you are not of the world, but I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. And they are stopping the harmony of Earth. Christians are stopping the harmony of Earth by stopping Satan's deceptive harmony from engulfing this world as a whole. When the time comes that perhaps 20 million people leave the planet at one time, there will be a tremendous shift in consciousness for those who are remaining. When Christians are called to leave the planet at one time, there will be a tremendous shift in consciousness for those who are remaining. This shift in consciousness will not be a positive shift. Instead, it will be a negative shift, as evilness will take over due to the absence of God living through His chosen people. Both Geller and Marciniak's quotes credit the alien abduction and discredit the true rapture by Jesus Christ, which is described in 1 Thessalonians 4:16-18. For the Lord Himself will descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of an archangel, and with the trumpet of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. Then we who are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And thus we shall always be with the Lord. Therefore, comfort one another with these words.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and may God bless us all.